Okay, first on tap today, I've got a story. Please listen to the story. At the end of the story, I'm going to ask you some questions.
The Story of Dr. Dolittle by Hugh Lofting. Once upon a time, many years ago, when our grandfathers were little children, there was a doctor, and his name was Dolittle, John Dolittle, M.D. M.D. means that he was a proper doctor and knew a whole lot. He lived in a little town called Puddleby-on-the-Marsh. His sister, Sarah Dolittle, was housekeeper for him. He was very fond of animals and kept many kinds of pets. Besides the goldfish in the pond at the bottom of his garden, he had rabbits in the pantry, white mice in his piano, a squirrel in the linen closet, and a hedgehog in the cellar. He had a cow with a calf, too, and an old lame horse, 25 years of age, and chickens and pigeons and 2 lambs and many other animals. But his favorite pets were Dab-Dab the duck, Jip the dog, Gub-Gub the baby pig, Polynesia the parrot, and the owl, Too-Too. His sister used to grumble about all these animals and said they made the house untidy. And one day, when an old lady with rheumatism came to see the doctor, she sat on the hedgehog, who was sleeping on the sofa, and never came to see him any more. Then his sister, Sarah Dolittle, came to him and said, "John, how can you expect sick people to come and see you when you keep all these animals in the house?" "But I like the animals better than the sick people," said the doctor. "You are ridiculous," said his sister, and walked out of the room. So, as time went on, the doctor got more and more animals, and the people who came to see him got less and less, and the money he had saved up grew littler and littler. It happened one day that the doctor was sitting in his kitchen talking with the cat's meat man who had come to see him with a stomachache. "Why don't you give up being a people's doctor and be an animal doctor?" asked the cat's meat man. The parrot, Polynesia, was sitting in the window looking out at the rain and singing a sailor song to herself. She stopped singing and started to listen. "You see, doctor," the cat's meat man went on, "you know all about animals, much more than what these here vets do. That book you wrote about cats, why, it's wonderful. I can't read or write myself, or maybe I'd write some books, but my wife, Theodosia, she's a scholar, she is, and she read your book to me. Well, it's wonderful. That's all can be said. Wonderful. You might have been a cat yourself. You know the way they think. And listen, you can make a lot of money doctoring animals. Do you know that? You see, I'd send all the old women who had sick cats or dogs to you, and if they didn't get sick fast enough, I could put something in the meat I sell 'em to make 'em sick, see?" "Oh, no," said the doctor quickly. "You mustn't do that. That wouldn't be right." "Oh, I didn't mean real sick," answered the cat's meat man. "Just a little something to make 'em droopy like was what I had reference to. But, as you say, maybe it ain't quite fair on the animals. But they'll get sick anyway because the old women always give 'em too much to eat. And look, all the farmers round about who had lame horses and weak lambs, they'd come. Be an animal doctor." When the cat's meat man had gone, the parrot flew off the window onto the doctor's table and said, "Wah! That man's got sense. That's what you ought to do. Be an animal doctor. Wah! Give the silly people up if they haven't brains enough to see you're the best doctor in the world. Take care of animals instead. Wah! They'll soon find out. Be an animal doctor." "Oh, there are plenty of animal doctors," said John Dolittle.
"Yes, there are plenty," said Polynesia, "but none of them are any good at all. Now listen, doctor, and I'll tell you something. Did you know that animals can talk?"
"I knew that parrots can talk," said the doctor.
"Oh, we parrots can talk in 2 languages, people's language and bird language," said Polynesia proudly. "If I say, 'Braa!' Polly wants a cracker. You understand me. But hear this. Caca, oi, feet, feet.
Good gracious, cried the doctor. What does that mean?
That means, is the porridge hot yet? In bird language.
My, you don't say so, said the doctor. You never talked that way to me before.
What would have been the good?
Said Polynesia, dusting some cracker crumbs off her left wing.
You wouldn't have understood me if I had.
Tell me some more, said the doctor, all excited, and he rushed over to the dresser drawer and came back with a butcher's book and a pencil. Now don't go too fast and I'll write it down. This is interesting, very interesting, something quite new. Give me the birds A, B, C first, slowly now. So that was the way the doctor came to know that animals had a language of their own and could talk to one another. And all that afternoon, while it was raining, Polynesia sat on the kitchen table giving him bird words to put down in the book. At tea time, when the dog Jip came in, the parrot said to the doctor,
See, he's talking to you.
Looks to me as though he were scratching his ear, said the doctor.
Bah! But animals don't always speak with their mouths, said the parrot, raising her eyebrows. They talk with their ears, with their feet, with their tails, with everything. Sometimes they don't want to make a noise. Do you see now the way he's twitching up one side of his nose?
What's that mean? Asked the doctor.
That means, can't you see that it has stopped raining? Polynesia answered. He is asking you a question. Dogs nearly always use their noses for asking questions.
After a while, with the parrot's help, the doctor got to learn the language of the animals so well that he could talk to them himself and understand everything they said. Then he gave up being a people's doctor altogether. As soon as the cat's meat man had told everyone that John Dolittle was going to become an animal doctor, old ladies began to bring him their pet pugs and poodles who had eaten too much cake, and farmers came many miles to show him sick cows and sheep. One day a plough horse was brought to him, and the poor thing was terribly glad to find a man who could talk in horse language.
You know, doctor, said the horse, that vet over the hill knows nothing at all. He has been treating me 6 weeks now for spavins. What I need is spectacles. I am going blind in one eye. There's no reason why horses shouldn't wear glasses the same as people. But that stupid man over the hill never even looked at my eyes. He kept on giving me big pills. I tried to tell him, but he couldn't understand a word of horse language. What I need is spectacles.
Of course, said the doctor. I'll get you some at once.
I would like a pair like yours, said the horse. Only green. They'll keep the sun out of my eyes when I'm ploughing the 50-acre field.
Certainly, said the doctor. Green ones you shall have.
You know, the trouble is, sir,
said the plough horse as the doctor opened the front door to let him out.
The trouble is that anybody thinks he can doctor animals just because the animals don't complain. As a matter of fact, it takes a much cleverer man to be a really good animal doctor than it does to be a good people's doctor. My farmer's boy thinks he knows all about horses, and he has got as much brain as a potato bug. He tried to put a mustard plaster on me last week.
Where did he put it? Asked the doctor.
Oh, he didn't put it anywhere on me, said the horse. He only tried to. I kicked him into the duck pond.
Well, said the doctor.
I'm a pretty quiet creature as a rule, said the horse. Very patient with people, don't make much fuss. But it was bad enough to have that vet giving me the wrong medicine, and when that dunce started to monkey with me, I just couldn't bear it any more.
Did you hurt the boy much? Asked the doctor.
Oh, no, said the horse. I kicked him in the right place. The vet's looking after him now. When will my glasses be ready?
"I'll have them for you next week," said the doctor. "Come in again Tuesday. Good morning." Then John Dolittle got a fine big pair of green spectacles, and the plough horse stopped going blind in one eye and could see as well as ever. And soon it became a common sight to see farm animals wearing glasses in the country around Puddleby, and a blind horse was a thing unknown. And so it was with all the other animals that were brought to him. As soon as they found that he could talk their language, they told him where the pain was and how they felt, and of course it was easy for him to cure them. Now all these animals went back and told their brothers and friends that there was a doctor who really was a doctor. And whenever any creatures got sick, not only horses and cows and dogs, but all the little things of the fields, like harvest mice and water voles, badgers and bats, they came at once to his house. There were so many that came that he had to have special doors made for the different kinds. He wrote horses over the front door, cows over the side door, and sheep on the kitchen door. Each kind of animal had a separate door. Even the mice had a tiny tunnel made for them into the cellar, where they waited patiently in rows for the doctor to come around to them. And so, in a few years' time, every living thing for miles and miles got to know about John Dolittle, M.D. And the birds who flew to other countries in the winter told the animals in foreign lands of the wonderful doctor of Puddleby on the Marsh, who could understand their talk and helped them in their troubles. In this way he became famous among the animals all over the world, better known even than he had been among the folks of the West Country. And he was happy and liked his life very much.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that story. I'm now going to ask 10 questions about the story. Please write your answers in your notebooks. The answers will be either yes or no. First, I will ask the question and give you 10 seconds to answer. Then the question will appear on the screen. Number 1. Did Dr. Dolittle enjoy caring for sick people? Number 2. Did Dr. Dolittle's pets sometimes upset his human patients? Number 3. Did Polynesia first mention the idea of Dr. Dolittle becoming an animal doctor? Number 4. Was Dr. Dolittle surprised to find out that all animals could talk? Number 5. Did Jip help Dr. Dolittle learn how to speak dog and other languages? Number 6. Did most of Dr. Dolittle's animal patients speak to him in people language? Number 7. Did Dr. Dolittle prefer to help only farm animals and pets? Number 8. Were the animal patients of Dr. Dolittle's impressed with his care? Number 9. Did knowing how to talk to animals make Dr. Dolittle a better doctor than most vets? Number 10. Would animals in Africa and Australia know about Dr. Dolittle? Okay, that is it for our quiz. Go back and check your answers, and in a second I will show you the correct answers. Here they are. How did you do? Perfect score? I hope so. Okay, that is it for our story time today. Please continue to our next section. Bye. Coke or Pepsi? Coke or Pepsi is a kind of game, I suppose, that was very popular a few years ago in America. It's a little bit like a quiz game, I guess, not really a quiz. It's a way for friends or new friends to get to know each other better. The idea is one person makes a questionnaire for their friend, asking about all kinds of little things. If I ask you, Coke or Pepsi? Well, if you like Coke better, you answer Coke. If you like Pepsi better, you say Pepsi. Easy, huh? So, we're going to practice this today. First, listen to the questions and practice giving your answer. Listen and answer. Okay, first, I'm going to read 8 Coke or Pepsi questions. Write down your answers in a notebook. Number 1. Coke or Pepsi? 2. TV or book? 3. Clean freak or total slob? 4. Beach or mountains? 5. Coffee or tea? 6. Spender or saver? 7. Potato chips or French fries? And number 8, butterflies or dragonflies? If you had trouble understanding the questions, here they are. Write down your answers in a notebook. It might be interesting to write down these questions and ask members of your family or send them to your friends. It could be interesting to learn more about your family and friends. The Coke or Pepsi questions are short and easy, but they are not real English. In your notebook, write down the questions in real English. For example, Coke or Pepsi might be, do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? Or, which do you like better, Coke or Pepsi? See what you can come up with. Okay, that is it for our Coke or Pepsi section today. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, that is the end of Hiatus Lesson Week 1, Red Level. Make sure you check the links below for worksheets that you can print out and work on at home. And be sure to check in next Friday for lesson number 2. Have a good week, stay safe, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.